Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel for our Friday live session. Let's see if we can make some forward movement in our challenge accounts. So today I'm going to be trading in the second 50K account that I have. See if we can't make some progress in this account and then hopefully switch over and get the other one up and moving as well. Still in the green on both accounts. Um, just trying to mitigate losses by going back and forth between the two. That way we can ensure that we're not getting too close to our um, total drawdown. Seems to be working out pretty well, actually. So, oh, PPI data today. So PPI data came out about an hour ago this morning, and way better than what we were expecting. We were actually expecting numbers to increase a little bit from previous month, and not only did we get below expectations, but we were negative in a couple of the numbers. And so between CPI yesterday and PPI today, the economy, if you take the tariff stuff away, and I know that's hard to do, but just for a second, take the tariff, you know, news and fear and all that stuff away for a second, the economy looks really good right now. Looks really good, especially as far as inflation goes, right? So inflation now coming down at a quicker pace than what we have been doing before. Jobs are still steady, so that's really, really good, right? We're not seeing, any fluctuations there either. So if we can get this whole tariff turmoil thing settled over the next 90 days or sooner, hopefully, I think we can see some some good growth in the economy. I know right now there's still a lot of fears that growth is going to be slowing even more in the coming months, and it could still, and that's okay. But I think we are still teetering on this like 50-50 chance of recession or not. Um, so as long as we can keep these numbers coming in good, and as long as we can keep this tariff, turmoil at ease or at bay for a little bit longer, I think we have a really really good outlook. We're coming into earnings season again, and some of the big banks like J.P. Morgan reported today, and I'm not 100% positive on what the numbers were. I think some of the numbers were a little bit lower, but what's going to be important this time around in earnings is what the outlooks of banks and these companies are going to be. And so far, the banks actually seem to be pretty excited about outlook, where they're talking about still gaining revenue uh, throughout the year. So that is a good thing. Good thing there. So we'll see as we get further into earnings season and as we get further into this 90-day hold on tariffs. We now have reports of 75 different countries have called and looking to set up deals with the U.S. Meanwhile, the war between us and China continues as we are now hit with 125% tariffs from China, and we've increased ours to 145% tariff on them. But around the world, the rest of these countries are coming to the table now. So things are looking up. I think we can stand out a little bit longer than China can. So we'll see how long they can play this tit for tat game, and we're playing it too. Let's be fair; we're doing the same thing, but um, I believe in the reason as to why we're doing this, and it is time to change things so that the US isn't the one that's getting beat up while we're the ones providing and protecting everyone. So I see where we're coming from, and I do believe in the idea and the reasons. So let's just hope that we just don't overstep and cause something very terrible for the world. But I have a lot of confidence that all of this is going to work out very well for not only us but everybody around the world, which makes it good for everybody. So, okay, New York session is open. Let's just hop back to the 15-minute here just so you guys can have an overview of what happened. So we did have a very slow, um, little sell off throughout the day yesterday, giving back some of the gains that we had during our rocket launch the previous day there off of our 90-day hold, which is to be expected. This happened so fast. You'd almost have to expect some kind of pullback there, um, to pick up a bunch of these orders and stuff that were left behind. So now we're trading sideways here, as you can see. So I think what we're going to be looking for today is, either a test of one of our levels here, or a breakout of one of the others. And not necessarily a breakout. I just mean, a move beyond one way or the other. Whether we're going to continue our downtrend here, or maybe get a bounce and maybe move sideways. The other option is we continue to trade sideways today. But regardless, we try to make a plan either way. So, see what the day brings us. All right. I'm still trading micros today just because of, again, the movement. I want to be able to give myself enough room to have a decent amount of room for a stop loss without having to risk too much. So I'm trading in micros still, um, probably 3 to 5 contracts, which is about half or less of a single contract of the minis. Just gives us a little bit more room. It also allows me to practice, taking some off during the trade and whatnot. So I like the idea while we're getting these wild movements with the volatility that we have to, trade the micros, and still be able to give me the opportunity to practice having more than one contract on at a time, so that we can get the practice in of, setting a take profit, or, where you want to take your first profits and taking the majority of your position off there while still being able to let one or two run if that's what the market decides to do, and vice versa. Yeah. You know, so we're still trading micros here. Nice move there. I probably missed this opportunity here. Uh, Once again, it's that same kind of idea. You can see where we have liquidity underneath this pocket here. We came in, pushed in and closed within the liquidity and quickly pushed out. You can also see a bunch of liquidity up here as well. So I don't know, maybe not. We're still early here. Give it a couple more minutes maybe to figure out what we're doing here. Let some of the volatility play out. Nice strong move there. It's going to close really strong. Yeah, missed that run. Okay. So what I was looking for was hopefully an entry around, price down in this general area here. For sure, you can see the liquidity built up here. We grab liquidity here, pretty strong push up, some volatility, but ultimately this this general area here is what I was looking for a safe entry. You can't control these big movements here, and so it didn't give me a clean entry, and then I would have been targeting these highs here. But this candle here, um, not obviously there's no good entry here. You want your stop loss to definitely be down in this area somewhere where the liquidity is holding. So, and then again, the target would have been these highs here. So now let's see where price goes from here. Maybe the market will give us another opportunity by coming down and retesting maybe somewhere down in that area. We'll see. It is what it is, right? You can't control the market. Um, if this candle here had closed above uh, this line here, then I was definitely thinking about taking a position here. But because we pushed down further, that kind of pushed me away from getting in. And then I wanted to see how this candle would close. Maybe we will get a retest here. Let's see. Yeah, that was our retest. Such wild movements. It's hard to take positions with these larger candles. Yeah, definitely didn't act quick enough here. I wanted to get in here for sure. Honestly, as soon as this candle here turned bullish, I should have entered. Honest, because we got a nice bounce here. This was a very strong turn. So as soon as this candle turned bullish, probably should have taken that entry. Now we'll have to wait for another opportunity here. So just go over the numbers for PPI today. So forecast for PPI year over year, we're looking for 3.3%, which is a slight increase from 3.2% last month. We actually got 2.7%. So the nice miss to the downside there. PPI month over month. Again, expectation was 0.2%, which was a little bit higher than previous month, which was 0. We actually went negative 0.4% there. Negative. That's not the only number we went negative on this time around. Core PPI month over month as well came in negative 0.1%. We were looking for a 0.3, which again is higher than previous month of negative 0.1. And we came in again at negative 0.1. So 2 months in a row, negative numbers on core PPI month over month. And again, biggest contributor Just like CPI data yesterday was energy again for PPI. Energy was a huge drop in PPI data. And then our core PPI year over year forecast was 3.6%, previous month 3.4%. We actually got 3.3%. So both CPI and PPI data coming in really, really nice this month. And this may continue. I don't think that the tariffs were in place long enough to affect the upcoming CPI and PPI data, with the exception, obviously, of China, which is in itself huge. So we may see some of those effects in next month's and the month after, um, what would be probably more so the month after. Um, we may see some of those effects in those numbers, but we'll see. What a beautiful move here, man. This is exactly what I was trying to catch, and I just did not. Um, I did not. I wasn't aggressive with this here, and I should have been much more aggressive. This is exactly what I was looking for here. Nice move to the upside here. Came back, retested, held, and you see your beautiful move here to the upside. This would have been a fantastic trade. Fantastic. But that's okay. Wait for the next opportunity. Strong move to the upside so far today. In the New York session, we're still trading in a range though. Yeah, if we pop over to the 15-minute here, you can see we're still within um, a range here, right? So like to see, again, testing one way or the other, or we push through one way or the other. Oh, excuse me. Thank goodness it's Friday. Okay, we're getting a little rejection here. Starting to get some resistance. Still getting some strong moves though. We're actually almost creating a little wedge here again, if you can see. And we're just about hitting that top end of the wedge here. We also are creating one here. So we might be topping out here and heading back down towards New York session open here. So I would like to see maybe a retest of these upper levels here. Keep in mind we have a decent amount of volatility still. Actually, we could be just bouncing off of here. So I could see previous liquidity here. I have some liquidity here. So we might be basically just retesting. You can see back and forth, right? Liquidity here. We have some levels that we're holding on both ends here, right? Even back here. So this might be a place where we come back and retest. This is actually looking pretty good as far as our steps here. But you are at this upper end of the range as well. So, got to be careful. Okay, that changed. Look at that. Very nice push. Ugh. Nice. Another opportunity missed here. Mm, I called it out too. I'm more concerned about calling out what I'm seeing instead of just getting into these trades. Got to be aggressive here. Got to be aggressive. Look at this. A beautiful, beautiful trade. Another one. Called this one out, missed it. Called this one out, missed it again. Missed it again. Got to be on top of this stuff. Okay. It's a beautiful setup right here, man. Ugh. Retesting all of these levels here. Almost exact. Looking like we're starting to form another key area. But the problem is this time is we didn't push that much higher than the previous highs. So we might be reaching some exhaustion for the buyers here. So you look for the turnaround here. Either the turnaround or some consolidation here. Yeah, right here is looking like a level that might become very key. You can see we're starting to see some support slash liquidity here underneath. We'll see how much or how well this holds here. Kind of in no man's land here, though. That's the problem. And taking a trade from here doesn't really give you much upside here. So,
The market isn't pre-open. The market is open.
this is what's been happening for the past couple of days because of the volatility. I mean, just look at what the price action is showing you. The volatility is so crazy here. Hmm. So we probably will head back down to, maybe these levels right about here. See if this liquidity in this area here holds. And then I'd probably look to continue long positions off of here. It's too late to catch a short now, especially with the price action we're getting here. That's just craziness. Unless we're going to turn right here, actually. We might get the flip here and continue to the upside. Okay, still got some downside. Okay. I got liquidity down here. So let's see how price reacts in this area here. Or we get a repeat of what happened here. If we can retest here. Yeah, I mean, a couple of options, right? We either keep falling and we retest our levels down in this area here, which it looks like is what we're going to do. So a little bit more selling pressure than we had before. We didn't get any news, did we? We get news? Ah, so Michigan, University of Michigan, 5-year inflation. These are just prelims. They're coming in higher. Okay, so our preliminary University uh, Michigan expectations are coming in not so great right now. So that might be that's probably the cause of our little um, push down here. But these are just prelims, so we'll see how much the market puts on it. Okay. All right, watching for our retest here. So the problem with this too is you can't even really pick a direction and say that the market is overall one side or the other because we're just trading sideways today. So very difficult to um, pick which way we're going here. So we'll definitely have to use our key levels. Um, okay, very interesting here. Strong push back to the upside. I got to start listening to myself a little bit more. I called this out too, didn't I? Levels down here. Held, pushed up higher. Yeah. And now we're just going to move. It's not going to leave any opportunities here. I mean, it's giving plenty of opportunities. I'm just not um, being aggressive enough to get into the play here. I've called out 3 trades so far that would have been on point. This could be another level right here, actually. But it could be a level to go in either direction. That's the problem. You clearly have sellers up here and plenty of them. Um, so very risky. Very risky. I'm inclined to say more up than down here, but I need a good place to buy into here because I don't want to get stuck in some kind of trap. You can see, there's a ton of sellers here. We had them here, all the way back, right? So I need a good, if I'm gonna take this long, which I would like to do, I need a really good tight entry here. But again, these sellers are coming in. This might actually be this level, right? Yeah, that's what I say. That's gonna turn into a reversal here, possibly. Are you gonna come trade for me? You gonna do it? Say hi. Hello, everybody. I'm busy. You only want attention when I'm busy. Look at this. No, you can't stay here. My arm goes there. This is not a real mouse. You can't chase it. And we tumble. Are we going to hold again here? Are we going to hold again here and head back to the other side? This volatility is crazy. It looks like we might. I'm not used to being so aggressive as a trader, but in this particular market, it seems that you either get in or get out. Step up to the plate or go sit down.
Order filled.
We're gonna be aggressive. Probably only gonna make it down to here. If
Order
we even.
filled.
Oh, see. Hey, what are you gonna do? Mm, this is just wacky here. Wacky, wacky. There's absolutely no direction whatsoever. Just too much volatility. Again. Setting up a nice little wedge again. Junk. Junk, I tell you. Might be heading down today. Might be heading down. Just watch out for your fake out. If it continues to fall, we're just going to let it fall. Not making that same mistake I made yesterday. That's faux show. Might be a little fake out anyway. We'll see. I mean, indications would say, and I'm not a trend line trader by any means, not on a minute chart or whatever. But you can definitely see the pattern forming here, and we are breaking out of the pattern and the structure, right? So breaking lows here. Next stop, if we break the next set of lows, the next stop is going to be lows of the day, which is back down at around your 18,000 mark on the NQ. So if we do break, this is what's holding us up right now, these lows right here. If we do break this and it's not just um, a liquidity grab or whatever, then our next stop is lows of the day, which is around your 18,000. So we're basically trading around our 18.5 mark, as you can see here, and we continue to get smaller and smaller around that price point. And now we have pushed through. So as long as we get continuation here, we're going to let this thing run all day if we have to. Once we get down to that next set of lows, then maybe we can look to see if we'll grab a bounce off of that. But if we run that far, we might keep moving, right? But let's see here. This might be a fake out. We'll see. Ugh, so many missed opportunities today already. And then I tried to grab one and it didn't work. It was not well placed, honestly, looking at it now. Not well placed at all. Especially not with the movement that we were getting here. This trade that I tried to take here to continue to the downside. Right idea and not well placed. Yeah, that's all right. Very, very small loss. That's how I like it. Keep them tiny. I'm okay with it. Looks like we are getting a bounce here. Just make sure it's not a retest here. So I'd like to see us come back inside the wedge. This looks like a pretty good quick reversal here. Let's see. That's a retest so far. Might be a retest and fail. How low can you go? Well, I called out 3 really nice trades earlier today that I did not take myself that all played out really well. And then the one that I tried to take didn't work. 3 out of 4, that's not bad, right? So funny how it works out that way. Isn't that the story of a new day trader? You can practice, 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 and your practice account, your paper trading looks so good. You get so confident, come into the real markets, and you just get stepped on left and right. It's so crazy. It's so confusing. It's the emotional damage that you get from it. It's crazy. Hmm. So the one thing that concerns me here about this being a turnaround, and it still could, although I think we'll probably get some consolidation down here first, is on the 15-minute, very, very strong push past both previous lows. And so we may close below that. Right now we're dancing around. So we'll see. We got another minute for this 15 to close here. A lot can happen in a minute, obviously. We can just continue to push, which would give you a little bit more incentive to go short today, or in the last 30 seconds, we can push back up above the lows back here and close above that, which would keep you wondering which way we're going. So let's see. We got 30 seconds here. This was a pretty good retest and reject here, but it doesn't mean anything. Final few seconds here. Okay, and we did close below. Yep. So we're going to get a push to the downside, I'd say. Hmm. Retesting those lows again. Consolidating. So we may come up to retest our trend line, actually. So let's see if we get a rejection here. Decent amount of cells up in this area here, as you can see there. Oh, but we're not done yet. Look at the buyers coming in. Still getting a lot of sell orders right up here. Okay. Sell, sell, sell. It's actually we're kind of moving 50-50 now between greens and reds there. Hmm. Crazy Friday. Not enough information here. Got a lot of liquidity in this general area, as you saw before. So we kind of have to let this play out a little bit here. This peak below here kind of changed the look of our 15-minute chart. You can see if we drew a trend line here, you can see how that's almost matching all the way through now. So we might just be in a channel now. Hmm. So it's possible that we continue to move back up here. So here's what I'm thinking. Because we broke to the downside and we haven't broken above our trend line here, probably be safer to wait for price to move back up here, if it will, and then take a bounce off of that because we have not been able to break this yet, and we've tried, right? Um, and each time you've gotten a pretty decent move to the downside off of that, right? So if we do continue moving up here, um, I'd probably be more inclined to short off of this area up top. Not saying that you can't take this run up. There's plenty of room there, but I'd say you're more downtrend today now. I mean, it's hard to tell, really. We're getting a really good support here off of this trend line. Most of the trading has been done up in this area here, so it would make sense that we might move back up here. But it's a big if. I mean, we could get totally rejected too. And don't forget, I mean, there's always the possibility of us consolidating now around here for a little bit. I mean, honestly, if you look at the 15-minute chart, the current 15-minute candle is kind of just bouncing around here. We got 6 minutes left here. So we're either going to push, which now it looks like it's doing, or we're going to consolidate around this trend line, and this 15-minute candle will close either just above or below it. Um, yeah. If we do push in the next 5 minutes, then what does that look like? Are we going to push up higher? Was this just a liquidity grab here? So many questions. Can somebody just give me the answers? Tis a mystery. I mean, I guess we'll just wait. We'll wait for the next 5 minutes and see what it looks like then. Then we'll ask more questions. Yeah, we'll see. Right now, we're still consolidating here. So, and I'm pretty sure we did this yesterday too. Is it yesterday or the day before? Where we had that key level that we just kept moving um, around for a little while. Definitely starting to build some liquidity here. This actually might become a key level right here. Again, we're looking at right at this. You know what? We may move up. You got liquidity here. You got a trend line here. So you have a couple things that, two, three things that are coming together here to tell a story. We might be moving back up to the other side of that. Big might, you know? So take that for what you will. Not financial advice. I know nothing, Jon Snow. So we're right back where we were this morning. Almost the same key level again, where I called this retest and said that this would be a perfect level to get in to buy. Well, I asked for the answers and it provided. So we might see one more reach down here before we continue up. That would be probably a better confirmation. I got a minute and a half left to that 15-minute candle. It's still a 50-50 shot. We can go either way. We can go either way. Yeah, and we would head right back to the opposite end of that range there. If this all holds. Doesn't have to. Market does not do what we want it to do. So this is okay because we're about to close that 15-minute candle. So we might still get our retest. And if the retest holds, you know, if or not, or we can just, completely leave everybody behind and continue to move to the upside. Ugh. I wonder if we're just gonna trade in a range today. Friday, so much uncertainty and confusion. Although I feel like if people are just really paying attention, I guess they just don't want to believe that the tariffs are working. Because there's all kinds of news that are just popping up from countries all over saying they're coming to the table. They're excited to make a deal. And, we expect to make this deal without any complication. I mean, Mexico's president today has said, a few different things. Water treaty. Um, let's see here. Mexico's president, Shane Baum. I don't know how to pronounce that. About the water treaty. Uh, Water shortages in Mexico, border deal due to drought. Mexico's president, I expect an agreement on water treaty in coming days and don't expect conflict. I don't think that has anything to do with the tariffs. Russia's Putin meets with Trump. Then you had Fed talk today, right? This Musalem, Fed's Musalem speaks today, and he's coming out with all kinds of, scare tactics, I believe, because you have one Fed that says one thing, and then later you're going to have another Fed. Fed Williams speaks later today, and he's going to say different things. And here you go, right? Eh, whatever. Trade what we see. Da-da-da-da-da. This isn't good structure to be trading anyway, as you can see, all over the place. So I added volume profile, as you can see there, just to kind of see how that works with liquidity and whatnot. And boy, does that line up. I don't know if you guys can or have been seeing the control point has been moving to every place that I've been calling out liquidity. Here, you can see it again. Here, it just moved up here. And it's giving you these pivot points almost perfectly, which is, it's like it's too good. It's too good. Obviously, we're not going to trade based off of that alone because I really enjoy using the liquidity areas. But this may turn out to be, as I'm trying to fine tune this new dynamic strategy, this may be something that works out well as a confirmation, or just another piece that gives me, okay, yes, this is the liquidity that's going to give you the movement. This is the liquidity that isn't, kind of thing, because you can see where, most of the trades are happening, um, which is what I was using this morning when I called out those 3 beautiful trades that I didn't take. So it seems to be a pretty good addition, nice tool to add some confirmation. And so now you have, we know we have liquidity down here. You have your trend line here. You can come back here and look at your profile and see that a majority of the trades, are happening right in this area, which confirms your liquidity. So, and it's also the bottom end. This highlighted area here is what I have set for 70% of the trades for what we can see on the screen. So the majority of your trading is happening in this range, clearly. So it does give you some idea that when it gets to the bottom end of the range, and if it matches up with key level and liquidity, that this might be a good place to place your trades, and then you can target the opposite end. That's what I'm looking at. So right now, we're going to come back down here, and then we'll have to wait to see if we continue to get support here within this liquidity. And then you might look to take a long position, targeting previous highs, or you can target previous highs to take some of your position off and then target the other end of the range for the rest. Doesn't seem bad. What do you guys think? Makes sense in my head. Okay, so here you're getting your push. Let's see if we get support here. It also allows you to keep your stop losses really tight if you're getting in on these, areas here that are on the extreme ends of the trading range. Um, gives you good opportunity for a really nice uh, RR. So we're actually getting support before we even get down to our liquidity here, right? As you can see there, and you can see that the volume in that same area is starting to increase. It's not something I would take, because you still have possibility to come down to the lower end here and to retest your trend line here. So you're actually getting more volume here than you are here, which could give you could tell you two things. If you do come back down here, you aren't going to make it back up here, um, and then you might push down lower, or there's just enough liquidity here to not come this far. We'll see. We'll see. This is all theory. I'm just testing this stuff out, but I like to talk it out with you guys, see what your opinion is. If you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing, sometimes I make things up. But we actually are lining up with previous levels here too. It's nothing you can really take a trade off of though. Not yet. And it may leave you behind, but it's okay. The problem with this junk is there's so many levels that could be retested and bounced off of. Like, that's why this sideways trading is no fun. If you're going to trade something like this, you have to wait to get to the one end or the other. That's really the only safest way to trade this sideways ranging um, structure. You take a trade somewhere in the middle, you know, you're gambling. You're about oh, I was just gonna say you're about to move your control point there. Yeah. Down. So last candle in the 15-minute candle right here. So do we close above or below our trend line here? I mean, we're so close, I don't even know if it matters, but this might be that last push and close
The
into
market is in
liquidity and then
pre-open.
push up. Look at that. But see, you can't catch that. And now the market's frozen because the all kinds of volume came in for some reason. Is that volume profile
The market is
dynamic?
open.
Yes, it does change. Yeah. So it's based off of what I'm seeing, what's on the screen right now. Look at that. So this is the same setup, and I don't want to speak too early, I guess, because we don't know where this is going, but you got your liquidity here. You're at the bottom of your trading range, volume wise, anyway. You can see the liquidity holding price up here. You come in and reach one final time, you close within your liquidity, and the very next candle shoots you right out. This is a little extreme. I don't know what just happened there. This has been happening the past couple days because I don't know what it is, but you get so much um, volume that comes in that it like pauses the. I don't know if it's just the platform or what, but you heard it. Market's in pre-market. It just stops and then it reopens and your price continues, but it's like you get this influx of orders that the platform or whatever can't handle for a second or two. It's crazy. Now where are we going? It worries me when you get movements like that. It's like, do you even bother getting in the market or are you just going to get taken out by some crazy movements?
Order filled.
We're going to try. I mean, that's probably the safest place to go right there. I don't know which way we're going to head here, but we'll give it a shot. Look for previous highs first. Still in micro. That way I have the room here. If we start to move in the right direction, I might tighten up the stop loss. It's because we're just crazy volatility. Nope.
Order filled.
Well, we gave it a shot. I mean, this was an appropriate place to try, you know? Yeah, that's gonna be it with this account today. I don't want to lose any more than that. So these are the type of markets that, like, you don't wanna trade in, but this is the type of market that we have right now. So what do you again, what do? You take 3 months off and wait for everything to settle down, you know? Or you just you use it as a learning opportunity and you try to take your shots, and it is what it is. I think that was a good trade to try there. Um, I don't know what this was right after that. We wouldn't have caught that anyway. Even if we did try to place our order on this on the close of this candle, because this moved so rapidly, you don't know where that order would have landed. Then you would have been screwed. But there's no way that you could have even have known that that was going to happen, right? It's just whatever it is that the market is doing right now, you know? Yeah. Let's move over into the practice account because I'm not losing any more of the other account. You can see I placed a practice trade earlier today in pre-market. That worked. Based off of the same thing that we just talked about. But this is just insane. Is it even worth trading the New York session right now because of all this? I don't know. You got this craziness here. And what was this? Was this just to grab whatever stop losses were up here? Crazy movements. Crazy movements. Mhm. Hmm. And now we're retesting these levels here. Who knows if that's going to hold? Wild, wild markets. Oh, here we go. Is it 11? Yeah. Fed Williams is speaking. This guy is saying tariffs will boost inflation to between 3.5 to 4% this year. What tariffs? Just China's tariffs? Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yep. No trend at all. Trading sideways, and that's junky um, market structure to trade in. But again, we've been getting so much of that lately. You know, do you sit out or do you learn how to trade that too? I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is to that. And that's the thing is the markets change all the time. So do you want to learn how to trade all the markets and be successful? Or do you just see a particular type of market and you sit out? I guess, I mean, obviously it depends on um, each person, but personally, I wanna be able to learn how to trade all markets, um, because I don't wanna use the market structure as an excuse as to either why I'm losing or whatever, you know? I wanna be able to get to a point where when I'm full time in this, you know, I can be confident that I'm going to make something. Doesn't have to be um a lot, but yeah, you're not wrong there. Taking a look at other assets. Um yeah. So the thing that's holding me back from that is because I'm newer. Um I have this I guess it's a fear of spreading myself too thin even between assets. And I don't know. Maybe that's something that we can discuss, you know. What are your guys' opinion on that? On trading different assets and whatnot as a newer trader, somebody who's not profitable and whatnot. Because you do hear a lot of pro traders say in the beginning, pick one asset, pick one strategy, stick to it, get consistent, and then start adding those things, right? But then on the other hand, it depends on when you're learning how to become a trader, right? Because in this particular market, that sucks. So I don't know. Maybe it depends on the person. Maybe it depends on the timing. You know, when are you coming in to the markets? Um, Let me ask you this then. So, what other assets do you guys trade, especially in times like this? Are you guys looking at gold and stuff? I'd actually be interested to see what's going on with gold. Let's take a look. And you're getting the same kind of sideways trending here, although you are respecting the range a little bit better here. This might be a little bit better to trade off of. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So give me ideas for other assets that you guys also trade. I will. Give me 1 second here. Maybe that's part of the answer too, is just trade higher time frames. Oh, look at that. This is just a 15-minute of gold. We're still we're still making new highs on gold, huh? That makes sense. As the fear and uncertainty continues, you're getting money moving into things like gold. Hmm. Well, maybe next week we'll try some different assets because I don't think that the volatility and the um, uncertainty in things like the Nasdaq and the S&P are going to change anytime soon. What other ideas do you guys have? Oil's been dropping. Don't want to trade oil on a 1 minute, that's for sure. Yeah, oil is popular. Hmm, interesting. Maybe over the weekend, that's what I'm going to have to do, is do some research on some other assets. And maybe next week we'll try some other things out. Hey, the sun's coming out. Look at that. Da, da, da. Not fun. How about crypto? Anybody trade crypto or crypto futures? I haven't even looked at that. Crypto's even more wild than this. Here's another question for you guys, too. I've been looking for a prop firm that allows swing trading for futures, and I'm not having any luck with that. You guys know any or suggest any? Because I feel like maybe in times like this, swing trading would be a better place to, um, you know, try and trade. Gives you a little bit more flexibility with movements. FTMO. I'm gonna look at them right now. Okay, let's check both of those out. Alpha Capital. So it's a specific account you have to, try with them? No. Mm, okay. Let's see. Yeah, Alpha Capital does too. They have swing accounts. Hmm. What do they use for platforms? Platforms, MetaTrader, CTrader. Okay, something to look into. How has your trading been going? Yeah, it's been a rough week for sure. In gold? Okay. All right. Hmm. At least gold has a direction, right? I mean, I guess that's where it's a good thing. Yeah. You might have to try some different things. Stay out of the messy indexes. Hmm. Yeah, 10% higher than Monday. Phew. That's a nice week right there, huh? It would be a nice trade. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do this weekend is look into some of these other assets, go back and see what their movements are like, see if my strategy will work with these also. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Seems a little slower moving too, although you got more volume here. That's your New York session open. Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense for gold supply and demand levels. Oops. What's we got here? It's kind of the same, a little bit different. Yeah, learning the sizing is definitely difficult too, because you definitely want to give yourself enough room for a stop loss, but not too much room. you know? So wherever wherever the trade would become invalid, meaning if your idea basically would be squashed, that's a, a more likely place for a stop loss. Um, and then, yeah, depending on where that ends up being and your entry, this is the Russell. Hmm. This is interesting too. It's not as erratic. The Dow. Silver look like. Oh, silver's moving too. Huh. Well, that's not too bad. It's a day chart for silver. Interesting. Much slower moving here, but it's got direction. Hmm. Got some homework to do this weekend. Yeah. That's Are you messing around with silver too? So we just looked at that. Let's silver on the 4 hour. Oh, are you talking about here? This range here, and we broke out? Oh, and your retest, yeah. Oh, yeah, that is nice. Hmm. Got some options. Yeah, that looked nice there. What platform do you use to trade? I know you use TradingView, but are you trading on TradingView or? Alpha Capital. Do they have their own trading platform? Or they use like C Trader or MetaTrader, right? MetaTrader, C Trader, DX Trade. Are you able to hook those up to TradingView? MT5 for that. Okay. Looks pretty similar to TradingView, maybe. All right. Yeah, I might take a look at them for the swing trading. I'm going to take a trade in silver. Swing, one step. All right. Oh, look at this move now. Heading back up to that other end of the range there. Not shorting that right now. Oops. Okay. All right. Practice account. Yeah, that's good there. So we're down. We were down what? Just over 600 in the other 50K account. So that one is now in the red. Yeah. 49.44 for so we got to be careful with that one. Going to be doing small positions until we get that back up and running. Our main 50K account, we're still in the green there, above 50K. And then my practice account, which is absolutely ridiculous, we're at 58.5. Which clearly means absolutely nothing. 18,440? 440. On the futures or 18,440? Is that where you got in? That's nice. I'm actually looking at possibly shorting from up here. Eighteen four forty. I see. Yeah, this could have been a good um, scalp. The problem here is you can see buyers and sellers on both sides. So, I mean, this was a good confirmation here. Um, you can see how we moved up to this top end of the range again. So I was actually thinking about taking a short back down. Let's see if it would work. Too tired after, yeah. Well, you know what? That's really good, honestly, though, that you're not getting in if you're tired and whatnot. Good on you for that. I mean, if you went from here and you targeted previous highs over here where you definitely know you have liquidity, it would have worked out depending on, where you were entry wise here. So I'm looking at, we've pushed back up to the higher end of this trading range and we actually got knocked right back down. So, um, you can see previous liquidity here and here. This may be a good place to take a quick short back down to your level here. But it all depends on how much strength we get here. So you let that play out. If you look at the 15-minute, you can see that every time price comes up to try to test, we are getting good rejections. The sellers are coming in and keeping price down in this area. And it's really this 18.5 um, zone that it looks like, sellers are really trying to keep price at or below that. How long, will they be able to do that for? I don't know, but it just kind of looks like where we're at. It's a Here's a key level here, and going back even further, you know, this 18.5 area looks like a pretty strong place. I mean, if you think about it, if we didn't get that news the other day, this would have never have happened, and we would still be down in this area. So, who knows? Still getting shot down here. We're gonna break above. Just barely. All right. I'll wait for a couple more minutes here, see what this does here, and then I think that's going to be it for the live today. I appreciate the support and conversation. I will look into some other assets this weekend. I'm going to look and see what looks like works best for what I'm trading with. And then maybe next week we'll try that out if we aren't getting some good price action in the queues, then maybe we'll switch and try something different. Because we are gonna, we are gonna have volatility for a little while. I mean, I think that's pretty self-evident, right? Um, and I don't want to sit out. So maybe that is the key there, is to get into some other um, tools, and we can trade different things depending on the day. Give us a little bit more options. More options is always good. Mm. Could not close above that level there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and you have a great weekend as well. We'll see you on Monday. All right. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Next week we'll try out some different things possibly, and or or maybe we'll get some settlement in the markets here. But anyway, good to keep our options open, and I appreciate the conversation with all of you guys. So thank you so much. Again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate it. And don't forget to join the free Discord. Link is in the description for that as well. Stay green. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys back Monday morning. Do it all over again. Take it easy.